This video will walk you through the registration process for the Grants Gateway. All organizations and individuals that wish to do business with New York State must be registered in the Grants Gateway. The registration process involves filling out a registration form and sending that to the grants management team. Because of recent changes due to the COVID-19 virus, the Grants Gateway registration process has changed slightly. You can find the registration form on the Grants Management site at grantsmanagement.ny.gov. From there, go to Get Started and click on the Register Your Organization page. The Register Your Organization page does note that during the COVID-19 emergency, only registrations submitted via email will be accepted. This is a change because previously, we have required you to submit your registration form via regular mail. So please follow these instructions. Note that this website has all of the instructions for filling out the registration form. The form can be found at the bottom here at Forms for Download, and you can see there are several links to it as well throughout the copy. If we click on Forms for Download, you will see you have 3 forms. Registration requires at least 2 of these forms. You must fill out the registration form for administrators. Organizations or individuals that do not yet have an SFS vendor ID, that is the statewide financial system, will need to fill out this substitute W-9 form and send that in their package as well. And all organizations must include an organization chart. This lets us see the structure of your organization. If you are an individual, we do require a document but not an organization chart. We require a resume or CV. So there are 2 or maybe 3 documents that you must send in to us in order to register your organization or yourself as an individual. I'm going to click on the registration form and we will view that form. You'll need to fill out the entire form, starting with legal name, your business DBA if necessary, your federal ID. If you are an individual, this would be your social security number. Please note that the SSN will not be retained in the Grants Gateway system. It is only used to obtain your SFS vendor ID. If you already have an SFS vendor ID, you can fill that here in this field. If your organization has a DUNS number, you can fill that out here as well. Fill out your street address, your city, state, and zip, and then check the type of organization you are. If you're an individual, you can check the option individual. You'll then fill out up to 2 administrators. These are the people whose accounts we will create first when we register your organization in the system. We leave it up to your delegated administrators to register other people in your organization. If you are an individual and applying only as an individual, you can fill out your own name here and leave the second option blank. However, if you are an organization, it is suggested that you do fill out both names here, so provide us with 2 separate names. You then need to have the authorization section filled out and signed by the head of your organization. And finally, you need to have this document signed and stamped by a notary public. Now, this is a change here because of COVID-19. Please note that the governor has submitted an executive order that allows documents to be notarized remotely. So there's instructions on that. If we were to go down to the bottom here, we have on page 2 instructions for this form. The instructions tell you basically what we just went through, how to fill out those various fields. Talks about getting the SFS vendor ID and that substitute W-9 form, which we can also get on the Grants Management website. But notice down here, the acknowledgement to be completed by a notary public. This talks about the ability to get a remote signature from a notary. So please do click on the executive order here to understand. You can contact a notary and you can work with them remotely via video chat to obtain a signed and notarized document. The other change here is that we are no longer accepting documents via the mail. These must all be signed and notarized and then emailed to us at the Grants Reform mailbox, grantsreform@its.ny.gov. So in your email, you should scan this completed form, the completed and notarized form. You should include the organization chart that shows the head of your organization. And if you're requesting an SFS vendor ID, you should include the substitute W-9 form. Again, that would be scanned as well. You would email it to grantsreform@its.ny.gov, and you can also send an email to that address if you have any questions as well. So again, this form must be filled out. And if I go back to the Grants Management website, you can see we have a link again to the substitute W-9 form. This form you would fill out with your organization's name, or if you are an individual, your legal name here. You would provide your federal ID number or your social security number here, and you would fill out your address and everything else on page 1. Page 2 also includes instructions for this as well. And then finally, the forms that we provide, if you don't already have an organization chart that shows the head of your organization, you can download this example here and use this as a template for your organization. So there are several different examples here just to give you an idea of what an organization chart looks like. These can be made easily in Microsoft Word or PowerPoint. So again, fill out the registration form, print it out, have it signed by your CEO or head of the organization, or you if you're an individual, have it notarized remotely, scan that, and along with the substitute W-9 form and an organization chart, send it to the email address that we talked about before, grantsforform@its.ny.gov.